Hello everyone, my name is Clantis and welcome to my YouTube channel. So without further ado, let's get into today's video, and it is about the Bloemfontein Magistrates Court heard today closing arguments by 5 accused of aiding and abetting Thabo Bester's escape on the 3rd of May 2022. So the court heard why it was in the best interest of justice to let go of these 5 accused, and of course, the defense attorneys came with guns blazing, basically to convince the court of some few factors that it needs to put into its consideration when it applies its mind in granting or denying bail of the 5 accused. So in this video, I'm not going to talk much because I am running out of time. We have to run somewhere, and I dread getting out of my house at night. But anyways, this video is going to be short because anyways, today's proceedings are adjourned and they will be continued tomorrow, the 24th. But I just want to touch on some few things that I noticed while I was watching the closing arguments, particularly focusing on accused number 1, accused number and accused number 5, because I feel like these two are so far apart and very important to show you the differences as to why I feel like one should not get bail and why the other one ought to get bail, considering the overwhelming evidence that is put before each one of them, or lack thereof. So as you guys know that Schedule 5 of the Criminal Procedure Act was reduced to Schedule 1 of the Criminal Procedure Act, where now these 5 are now accused of the following crimes or offenses, which is violation of a body, defeating the ends of justice, and aiding and abetting a body, and arson. So those are the charges that they have before them. And of course, many people are not happy with the fact that the murder charge was removed, considering that Katlego Bereng's body was found in cell 35 when it was used as a decoy for Thabo Bester or something of that nature. And anyways, watching Katlego's mom in court today really broke my heart. There was a point where I was hoping that she would not scream and cry, because she would have been kicked out of court, as that would have been in contempt of court or something like that. But of course, the circumstance that she finds herself in would have been understandable if she did burst out and started screaming and crying when her son's name was being mentioned and the way he had died. So let's start with accused number 1, that is Senoge Motswara. This guy, for me, today he came out looking really different. He did not have a smirk on his face anymore. I think maybe his lawyers advised him to stop looking that way because it was not playing out well in the public domain. And he looked today, for the first time, I saw him being serious. At first I thought maybe I was accusing this poor guy. He really does have a face that is smirking, only to find out that actually he can be serious and he can actually control and show some sort of remorse with his lips. And that was quite interesting, except at the end when they took a 5-minute break, when they started laughing and he laughed along, and I was like, boy, what's up with you? Anyways, we are not there. Like I said, with accused number 1, he did submit to the court that he is no flight risk. He did mention that he's a breadwinner and he needs to get back to work. I was kind of like wondering which work you're talking about, because you have been fired from G-Force in December. And another thing that he also said, that he has immovable property that is worth 60,000 rand. He handed over his passport. He does not have any passport right now, even though there's some few things about the activities in his passport that he did not submit to the court as evidence, as to that he was traveling back and forth between South Africa and Lesotho. By the way, in my first video or second video, I said there was rumors that he's actually a citizen of Lesotho. That's not true. He is a South African citizen. Probably he does have family in Lesotho or relatives. I'm not quite sure. But that did not play well, and I don't think it's going to play well for his bail application, that he did not mention the fact that in his passport he has traveled between Lesotho and South Africa, even though his travels only show that he traveled there twice. Is it 4 times? Yeah, something of that nature. And that is not going to play in his favor at all. And we also know that Matswara was the mastermind behind the escape of Thabo Bester. He is also the guy that was paying the people that participated in the escape of Thabo Bester. That included all the other 3 accused that were on the dock in the dock today, except with Natasha Jensen. Then the other interest that I took was in accused number 3, that is Tebogo Lupulu. We all know that Tebogo was a CCTV operator at the Mangaung Correctional Center, and he's the one also seen running with Thabo Bester in a prison CCTV footage, basically confirming that he is involved, and he also received 40,000 Rand from Matswara for his participation in the escape of Thabo Bester. And interestingly, which kind of like made South Africans giggle, those that were watching live streams from various news channels, when it came to light that Lipolo actually is a farmer, and something that he did not disclose to the court, that he's a livestock farmer, and that he has a previous conviction of stock theft. People and the emojis that you saw on the live streams were quite hilarious. And he did also say that he's a breadwinner and that he has 3 cattle that are left, and he would use those cattle to pay for his bail. And then he said he will not interfere with the witnesses. Same goes with Matswara. He said he's not going to interfere or intimidate witnesses, and that they will attend their court hearings or court dates that are to come in the future. There are no flight risk. Accused number 6 also made a submission where he said in his final arguments or closing arguments that, number 1, he feels that he is being treated unfairly considering the fact that he is incarcerated in Sasolburg, and he also has legal aid which is struggling with resources to get to him for consultations or for him to see his lawyers for consultations, and he feels that because of this very reason, he should be granted bail so that he can go and prepare for his defense when the trial comes. Having said that, he also mentioned that he is no flight risk, he does not have a passport, and he has no intentions of interfering or intimidating witnesses in this matter. And therefore, he should be granted bail because it's in the best interest of justice that he gets bail. Now let's get to accused number 5, which is Natasha Jensen. If there is anything or a textbook definition of best interest of justice, this is the very one. Natasha Jensen, who, by the way, I feel if she was involved, which I don't think she was, this is the one most remorseful person I have ever seen in my life. Many times we see accused sitting on the dock or in the dock. Is it on or in? In the dock. And they would just look cold. And this lady shows, and there's also a sense of, I am not sure what I'm doing here, but okay, let's see where it all goes. And this lady, it's in the best interest of justice that she is let out. And the reason why I'm saying this is because her lawyer, Mr. Gary Borta, did actually challenge the investigating officer and asked him questions where all his answers were no. No, he cannot prove that she ignited cell 35. No, he does not have evidence that she participated in the escape of Thabo Bester. No, she did not get paid money like all the other people that got paid for participating in this crime. No, no, no. So now a person of this nature that is accused of such a heinous crime, do you think that is in the best interest of justice to keep her in jail until her trial? Absolutely not. And besides that, she also did submit that she is a mother of 2 minor children, 2 daughters. One is 16 years old and the other one is 7 years old. Can you imagine the trauma that they've been going through? Again, I will repeat this. In Zulu, there is a say that "Icala ligelivula ingubo lingene," and that is exactly how I feel about Natasha Jensen. That this woman is probably her posts Like any human being, when you are at work, you do take a bathroom break. I think these are the crooks. They waited for her to go to the bathroom. Hence, you see Thabo Bester and Lipulu literally running across the prison court. Why they were doing that? Because they could just walk across the prison court. The fact that they were running across the prison court, a reasonable man will think, what are they running away from? If they would assume that Natasha Jensen would assume that these are the G-Force securities. So I do think that there was a moment where she was absent from her post, either to take a ladies' bathroom break, or if she smoked, she took a small smoking break. There, I am not doubtful about that because I don't think this lady was aware of what was going on, and the proof shows it in the bank account. Some people say, what if she was paid in cash? That's still not the evidence. You still have to prove that she was not paid electronically, but by brown envelope. Where is the evidence to that? If you are going to ask that question. So I feel like this lady, she, of all the four, she deserves to go home as a free woman. As a matter of fact, acquitted from this entire case. And I stand by that. So, in closing, does the state have a watertight case against the five? From where I am sitting, I think the state has a weak case, and it is incumbent upon the state to strengthen this case as fast as they can. Because I think even when I was watching and listening to the state prosecutor, there was fear in his voice. He was trying so hard to convince the court, tried so hard to convince the people of South Africa that he has a watertight case. I don't think that's the story here. And the fact that he was trying so hard, I know a lot of people were so impressed by him. I was like, guys, if you only understood what he's trying to do. He is trying his level best to keep these people behind bars. Anyways, that is his job. It is his job to keep a criminal behind bars so that they do not become repeat offenders. Secondly, it also looks good on the National Prosecuting Authority when they win a case in court. So he really was doing his best to keep everybody, including a person of Natasha Jensen, who does not have any evidence that shows that she was involved in this case. If anything that she's guilty of is being present on the day of the 3rd of May 2022. That's probably only guilt that she's guilty of. Other than that, everything else, this lady is innocent. Free her, please. So the court adjourned until tomorrow, the 24th of May, 2023 at 9 a.m., where there's one more defense that needs to submit their final arguments. And then we'll see if the magistrate is going to make a ruling tomorrow, or he's going to make a ruling at some I don't know, maybe someday this week, where he's going to postpone the matter sine die or indefinitely. We're not sure when he's going to come back and deliver his judgment. But other than that, this is what happened today. I can't wait for tomorrow to conclude this bail hearing and see who gets bail, who doesn't get bail. If I would predict who will get bail, I think 2 people of the 5 that are going to get bail, that is Natasha and accused number 6. I think those 2 are likely to get bail. Probably 3 people are going to get bail there. I want to mention people's names, but because I'm a coconut, I am having very difficulty in pronouncing some names. No, this is true. This is real, guys. When I say I'm a coconut, I'm the first generation coconut. The first generation. When apartheid ended and white schools started taking in black people, I was there. The first kid who went to primary school, and hence I speak the way I do. Somebody left a comment and said my accent is annoying, and I was like, okay, that is on you, not on me. This is my accent. This is how I talk, and if you don't like it, deal with it. That's it. Anyways, guys, thank you so much for watching, and I will see you next time with a new video. However, before you go, please leave a like on this video. Please leave a comment and let me know how you felt about the closing arguments today, and share this video far and wide. Do subscribe, and I appreciate those of you that are subscribing. Don't forget to click the bell notification though, so you get notified every time I upload a new video. I'll see you next time. Bye.